The purpose of the open differential is to translate a single input rotation into two variable speed rotating outputs. You can see here that by locking up one side, all the rotation speed is forced to the opposite side and its speed is doubled. The same happens when we lock the opposing shaft. It is possible to slow the rate of rotation on one side and have the other side increase its speed accordingly, as shown here. It's important to note that the torque provided by the input is always transmitted evenly between the two outputs, but will be limited by the side providing the least resistance. These properties are useful in terrestrial vehicles and allow them to make smooth and controlled turns, during which one wheel is required to rotate faster than the one opposite to it. A downside of an open differential in this form of operation is that if one side loses traction, the other side will no longer receive adequate torque to make the vehicle move, hence slippage occurs. Here is the final result. Everything here is 3D printed with the exception of the bolts, nuts, and hot glue used to hold it all together. It's smooth in operation and can be turned easily by hand. The model uses bevel gears and is modeled after a conventional automotive open differential. The utilization of these bevel gears will introduce axial forces into the differential unit itself. This causes those bevel gears to push inwards or outwards. To demonstrate rotation speed differences, this electrical tape will act as a marker. When rotating the input, all three major components of the differential rotate in unison. However, when we lock one shaft, we can see the opposite shaft rotates 2 times the rate of the carrier. This is a property that exists regardless of the planetary gear ratios used in the carrier. Rotating the differential with a drill demonstrates relatively smooth operation. Locking one side by hand forces the other side to rotate twice as fast, but it is still smooth in operation. Attempting to slow but not stop one side is difficult to do by hand, but is possible. High-speed footage shows the unit operating well and makes it easier to visualize the sun and planet gears while in motion. Here's an example of slowing down one shaft. It still spins freely, but the opposite side increases its rotation as a consequence. The open differential is a vital component that has had major impact on the world. It may be the most basic and most simple of all the differentials out there, but it still plays a critical role nonetheless.